up, y'all? It's the Joker's Gallery right here on the Fago Lovers Network for another edition of Five Piece coming at you. Today we got a pretty interesting topic, as it was a viewer that actually sent in this. They said, we want to see a top 5 super famous Fun Time Guys tracks of all time. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Mike, the co-host that's always here with us, couldn't make it today, so we had to call in a couple backup members of the Fun Time gang to jump on here and list their favorite tracks. But we do got the Larry King of the Underground, Mr. Luke the Goon, as always, joining us.
Hell yeah. Before we get started, I want to dedicate this episode to Eric May. He was like a diehard Zooligan. I probably the bottom two just saw him too, actually, at Astro. He passed away from COVID on September 2nd. So, I want to dedicate this episode to him and to his family. Long live Impact.
Rest in peace, Eric.
Much love to that brother right there for sure. Glad you mentioned that, Luke. Then, like I said, we had to call in a couple members of the Fun Time gang to join us on this episode. Right below me, you see the homie Corey. I met this dude pretty much from posting about Super Famous. He was the only one that would be answering my lyrics whenever I'd post Super Famous lyrics on Twitter. He'd always be the one that would have the response to it. So me and him started talking. Figured he'd be a pretty good candidate to jump on and talk about his top 5. What's good with you, Corey?
What's good with you, y'all? Thank you for inviting me to this lovely show, man. I really do appreciate it. Honor to be here.
Like I said, you always know the songs I'm talking about when I post a random lyric. So I was like, this ninja knows this Super Famous song. So we'll definitely get him on the top 5. And then also joining us today, we got somebody that's actually been on a Super Famous Fun Time album, made an appearance on Like Your Friends, on Don't Hug Me From the Front. Miss Evil in Bloom, as she's known on Instagram and also Twitter. How you doing today?
Awesome. Happy to be here.
Rocking the Lucha Florida shirt.
You know it.
Like I mentioned, you was on Don't Hug Me From the Front. Would you mind talking a little bit about how that came about?
Yeah, I am pretty close with Whip, and he had asked me if I could sing a couple tracks for them. He'd seen me sing on Instagram and everything, so on I Like My Friends, they just kind of had a couple people do a little chant at the end, so the I like my friends but I don't like you. So I think I'm the only girl in that section, so if you listen closely and hear a little chipmunk voice, that would be me.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's a super dope song too. A good way. It's a upbeat track that ends the album well. If anybody watches 5 Piece, they know I'm a big fan of pretty much all the final tracks on the albums. Whenever I do a top 5, it's pretty much 3 of them is going to be a final track, and that's a pretty good closing track. But like I said, we're going to do the top 5 Super Famous Fun Time Guys songs of all time. I'll get it started at my 5 spot. It's going to be a song they made a video for. It's called Rest in Piss.
It's Fun Time Gang, we back in the building. Show up at your birthday, smacking children. Hit them in the worst way, smash their feelings. But for real, we came to kill. What you think I'm teasing? Like I just showed up with this machete for no reason. Like I don't want to stab every motherfucking body in this venue. Send you to demons. Really all I want to do is make sure everybody here gets cake and leaves here bleeding. Look at the mental state that he's in. I'm in. Fuck, light him up. Hyman's pump, so you better get him up and wipe it up. Like it, cut. Here's how it goes, it's whipstick dubs and Nate legs. Stick big hole in your lame face. Leave a more nut in your gut than a box of paydays. SOFTG. So repetitious. Maybe it's just my intuition, but there's my kitchen. Go do my dishes and shut the fuck up and watch SmackDown. In fact, just back down. Go mind your business. Oh, by the way, I just wanna say you ain't ready for white background bitches. I don't give a fuck about what you doing. You ain't doing shit. All you do is talk. Use a fraud. There's no disputing it. I don't give a fuck about what you doing. You ain't doing this. Yo, what is that? Having fun while doing it, you stupid bitch.
The video for it is fucking sweet. It's actually called Pest and Risk, but it's just Rest in Piss is what it's actually spells out. But the video for it is the first time that introduced me to kind of almost the running gimmick throughout Super Famous's music is they don't like each other. And they fight about everything. And the most standout part of it to me is whenever Dubs, who's kind of almost like an unofficial third member of the band, as soon as he tries to start his fucking his flow with Six, like, fuck him, he's fat. And then they start beefing with each other. It just brings so much more entertainment to the music than actually just listening to the music. And that's the one that really made it stand out to me. It's kind of pay attention to how if you're listening for it, it kind of happens throughout all the tracks. So I wanted to get that track listed, so I'll put it at my 5 spot. And like I said, it's a dope video too.
Yeah, I think the only reason why I didn't put that song on my list is because it was on Leg's solo album. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I love that song too. Dubs always adds a little extra little flavor whenever Dubs actually jumps on a song, he always adds a little bit extra bit of comedy and drama between the two of them.
Yeah, it's like they're competing for his love. You got your 5 spot, Luke.
Number 5, I have off of Don't Hug Me From the Front. I mean, I'm probably gonna slaughter how you say this. Muerte Mierda.
Yeah, I got a question that I feel like I should ask you. Did you ever consider that you die inside this bathroom at the hands of a stranger that reeks of liquor and cat food? It's really not a big deal. I just wanna stab you in the face and abdomen, just laughing while it's happening. I might just stab your dick cause my aim is inaccurate. But let's not make this a thing. I bet it could be magic, but you're covered in stab wounds. Dog, that ain't attractive. Or is it? Wait, never mind. Fuck, ignore that. I just wanna leave your body wherever the morgue at. Or better yet, make it block a fucking path like a Snorlax and wait for someone to find you while drinking a 24-pack.
One time,
yeah. Yo, we just wanna
kill shit.
Now these beats are lyrics, I mean literally putting our hands on you physically and making you fucking
feel this.
That's all we really wanna do is just
kill shit.
It was funny because when I did the listening party for Don't Hug Me From the Front, I knew what Muerte was from, like, you know, Lucha Underground, you know, but I was like, what the hell is Muerte? And Lex is like, look it up, find out. I'm like, okay. So in the middle of listening party, I'm like looking it up, and I'm like, kill shit, murder shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And then this is also another song where Dubs kind of comes in, like, kind of at the end of the song, and he's like, you can only do a 3-minute song. No, fuck that. And he comes in and he does his verse at the end. Yeah, I really fucking love that song, and the hook is really cool too. You know. Fucking kill shit. Like, it's just, I really like. It's a dope song altogether, I think.
I love that hook. When I first listened to that album, the first way through, that was actually the standout track to me.
Yeah.
Like you said, whenever Dubs comes in and they're trying to make it to this, it's a 2-minute song. That's stupid. Because they're like, no, just leave it like that. No, fuck that. He just jumps in with this shit, and his fucking verse is fire too.
Oh, I know.
If you're gonna jump on at the end of the song like that, you got to bring the fire, and he did for that one. Made it pretty memorable. I think they said in that listening party that was the one track that moved over from White Noise up to the Don't Hug Me From the Front album, if I remember correctly. Yeah. They said there was one track. I think that was it.
Could have been, yeah.
Well, you got your 5 spot, Corey.
My top 5 spot. Oh my god. Oh. Crawlspace.
Got this house cheap, been squatting since the dog days. Baby's in the attic. Yeah, well, Jacob's in the crawl space. Dressed like Paul Bearer, wearing a silicone crawl space. Covered in dirt, installed in a cage made of tall grapes. Anxiety's creeping, I need a couple red oxys. They pilled out like being fed by the head Cosby. Area's cluttered and cleaning ain't one of my sad hobbies. There's just a bloody fucking pile of cassette copies. Bitch thought that I'd see dead bodies. Nope, none of those, just a couple other heads rotting. Shade smoke when someone mentions the smell. Like I'm a connoisseur of cheeses. Jesus, you can't tell. Practical packing them where the soil is immaculate. Tactical stacking them, it's not bragging if it is accurate. If I ain't digging, I've been down here painting murals. You trying to have somebody gone, I'm open to referrals. Let's go to the dark unknown. Yo, we can call it art or we can call it your home. We underground now. Let's start the show. Body parts scattered low till they all dissolve. We going hell down. Get acquainted with the words in the dirt and know it house. We'll decompose and become one with your earth. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my collection. Join your 27 prints while I'm a careful selection. I pack a massive erection, and I'm not happy to see you unless you got a hypodermic needle with staph infections. Ha! Lines real deep in this side of your neck, where hands cuffed, mouth stuffed with the pound of your flesh.
Oh my god. Oh, Crawlspace. I love Crawlspace. Just that kind of when he threw Amy's in the attic with Jacob's in the Crawlspace. You know, that was kind of dope. That's
hell yeah.
That's one of my top 5 Well, for sure.
Since
It
I'm
felt
next,
like a little ICP.
that's my number 4. That's my number 4. Then we might as well roll it into my number 4 as well, featuring Crawdad.
The subject matter seems so familiar. How the fuck you book a feature on your CD that'll kill you? Skeleton spiders, asbestos, and mildew. Surprise, bitches. This guy fucking for real, dude? Who the fuck dare disturb my slumber? I thought I told you Whip, lose my cell phone number. It's dark as fuck, can't see who I'm stabbing now. Slaughter another jobber, put in the Lucha Underground. When I'm in the crossface, call me Crawdad. Killing horrorcore rappers and my gimmick is a ball cap. I saw that, y'all wanna get spooky, let's cut class. See an R-rated movie. Let's give each other tattoos on our shoulders. Using each other's blood. All I need's a couple corn holders. That's all for now, kids. Back to my filth and disgust. The bathroom of this abandoned Toys R Us.
Crawl space where we got 'em. Digging deep down to the bottom. No more problems.
Same reason that he mentioned they name drop Amy's in the Attic, and it's Legs totally kills his verse in that, and then obviously Crawdad, you know, he's not bad himself. We haven't seen him since then, but you know, maybe Crawdad will come back someday.
Hopefully we'll see Crawdad perform that song at Camp Zool.
I know.
I'm glad that song got mentioned, because if our boy Mike was here, that would probably be his number 1 song. He loves that song. Mike Sears. He always talks about that song. He loves that Crawdad verse.
Oh yeah. It's definitely in the top 5 for me. For sure. No doubt.
The Amy in the Attic reference, that was nice. And like you said, Legs kills that shit, Whip kills that shit, and whoever Crawdad is, he killed that shit as well. What you got at your 5 spot, Marissa?
I have for number 5, I have Lucha Florida.
This is the city where the super luchas came from. Undisputed and ruthless, we moving with a chainsaw. Because we hate y'all, hacking a competition. And it's how we raise on, whacking off love and scissor. The land where we bought it for your baby mama. No matter the aftermath, you suck the rest of father. Where it all started out, here we go, vomit. Placing for the squeamish, you needed there as a fodder pal. Fuck life, my favorite currency is cocaine. Exit pain from the square circle seem okay. Cannibalistic, I'm just a man with a vision of plan with a pistol, we turn your fans into victims. But yo, you couldn't lace a strap on my fucking fanny pack. Couldn't last long enough to make legs a granny man. Locals only, yeah, home is where the heart is. A handicap, mental strain, beat your ass retarded. Where the cocaine flows like wine, and anybody that's looking for a hell of a time. Where the rules of the world don't fly, and everybody is encouraged to go and commit crime. When your life could just end in an instant, pissing off 8 legs and mischievous twisted. Lucha Florida, Lucha Florida. Where the cocaine flows like wine, and anybody that's looking for a hell of a time.
And I don't know if that's going to be higher on everyone else's, but it makes me dance. It makes me laugh. Everything about it is dope. I told Whip I was going to do, I had to pick some songs, and he put together my list for me based on what I talk about to him the most. So he's like, well, these are the songs you like the best. And I'm like, okay, you're right. I don't have to go through everything. Because I have a problem with picking favorites. I get real nervous about that. And he's like, well, these are the songs that you always ask about. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. So Lucha Florida is my top 5. I was shaking my ass to it earlier, trying to make a little reel.
I mean, you're wearing the shirt for it, so it's got to make the list.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's got to make the list.
It made my list at the 4 spot, so I'll go ahead and say that, so I don't have to talk about it whenever it gets to me. It was that video is fucking fire, and also they played it on No Jumper, and it got love from those dudes. Those dudes usually just hate on shit, and I noticed they really paid attention to it. They were bobbing their head the whole time, and one of the dudes at the table had even heard it before, so it was cool to see them get some love in the mainstream media for that shit, because you can't deny that shit goes harder than 98% of rappers they have on that fucking show. Fucking Whip kills his verse in that. That might be my favorite Whip verse of all time.
Yeah.
The catchiness is just you can't deny it. That shit is catchy.
They were even Adam 22 started singing it by the end of it. He's going Lucha Florida.
Where are these guys from? Oh yeah, Florida.
Oh yeah, Florida. That's right. Yeah, that shit was dope, man.
And I love the Rick Bowl cameo as well in the music video.
Yeah.
When I saw Rick, I was like, "Oh shit, there's Rick!" And he does the whole like, it's so good.
Yeah, he throws him out of the car. Like he
Yeah.
gets him and shit. Throws him out of the car. Shit's dope. Whip's rocking the. I think that's the video. Whip's rocking the Nature Boy Ric Flair fucking sweatpants.
Yeah.
And the Pringle can in the fanny pack.
And Legs has got the menthol cigarettes hat on.
Yo, the one that cost Whip his windshield.
Yeah. That story is so crazy. Basically, if you don't know, they were shooting. I think he told it when I had the after party
on your stream. Yeah.
Yeah. They had this hat with menthol cigarettes hanging off of it, and they were down in Portsmouth, Ohio, not the greatest city. And he put it in the back seat of their car. They went into the church. They were gone for a little while. Came back out. The window was broken out, and somebody had tried to break in and take all the menthol cigarettes out of the back. But when they reached in, they noticed that there was no cigarettes in there.
Most expensive hat in music video history, right there.
Jeez.
Definitely.
Well, my number 4, we just talked about it with Lucha Florida, and then we talked about Luke's number 4, so it goes to Corey. It's his number 4.
My number 4, oh, I got positive.
I'm a negative guy, yeah. Can't describe how I said that or why. I'm not good with advice or really acting alive. Wanna conversate with me? Well, I would rather go die. Honestly, it's kind of a commodity the way I act. People think that it's a novelty with quality intact, or I'm super into comedy. Nah, it is the fact that more than fucking probably, I think they're all trash. Look, I don't give a fuck about you and your job. Your ugly kid's dead right for your dumbass dog. I hope you trip, eat shit every time that you jog. Misery don't win any company, now get off my lawn. Don't rain on your parade? Well, what an understatement. I'm more like a hurricane pouring piss on the pavement, knocking out the power and then flooding all your basements. You managed to escape, well fuck. Congratulations, now leave me the fuck alone. Yeah, I just wanna stay home, mope about, be in my zone, get drunk, despise everyone, and play on my phone. So
everything's going good, everything's going great, man. I'm feeling really positive today. Never felt so good, never felt so great, man. I'm feeling really positive. And the sun just won't stop shining on me. I said the sun just won't stop shining on me.
That's when I got into Super Famous. And I had to put that in my number 4 because that's what hooked me when I first heard of these guys. So Positive is definitely in my top 4 personally favorite, because that was the first time I heard of them. And it's been, nerves has been wrecked ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Exactly. But yeah, that's my top 4, hands down.
Hell yeah.
You know.
I guess that's me for number 4 then.
It is.
Mine would be from Whip's solo album. So I don't know if that's against the rules, but I put it on there.
Now that counts. It counts.
Seizure Slide.
when I get drunk, fucked up in the club, wanna punch a motherfucker and assault him for love. But I'm a perverted introvert, assertive and shit. I gotta work up the nerve to fucking murder a bitch. I mean murder a beat, swerving on the dance floor, kid. Turning my feet with the freshest jam sport, bitch. Jacking on my back, in fact you know nothing about that. Show something about rap, go to function out that. But here I am, straight cutting the rug. Fanny pack strapped to my butt, it's comfortably snug. I'm trying to reach inside to find out if a couple of drugs got me feeling like I'm Pink Floyd, comfortably numb. But I overdid it and I think I'm straight geeking. Laser lights hitting extra and I started off season. Foaming at the mouth, gargling blood, I feel a thug, having a seizure, blacking out. Yo, what the fuck? Oh my god. Yo.
That is my shit. His verse on that, he just kills it. It's funny. It's like, it gets me going every time. The perverted introvert, assertive and shit. I gotta work up the nerve to fucking murder a bitch. Like that, I was like, like that is gold.
Yeah, Whip is like
really
Whip is really progressed really far, especially if like you listen to like off of two super dudes crooning the tunes. Like if you hear Whip on that compared to like Whip, like as he's kept going, it's like he's gotten so much more control over that voice and that like, and it's so crazy because if you hear Whip talk like just like a normal fucking dude, like, and then you hear him on a record, it's like two different totally fucking voices. It's so weird. but he's gotten so much control over the voice. Because like most guys, when they do that voice, they can't maintain that kind of wild fucking coke-induced voice that he has. Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm always asking him, like, how on earth do you not lose your voice? Because he could be talking in his normal voice and just switch it up in a minute, and I'm like, doesn't that hurt? No, doesn't hurt him. Don't know how.
It's all that milk he drinks.
I know.
Yeah.
2% only. Only
Yeah.
2%. Very strict.
I'll move it up to my 3 spot now. I put this one in there because I think it's pretty much the first official posse cut from LLE. It's going to be Hide and Seek After Sunset off of Don't Hug Me From the Front.
I ain't finished yet, boots on full. Turn the blood like we're super famous, I
I took a 10 strip, now I'm losing my shit. This quintet, get it cracking like your grandmother's hip. Now the underground scene is abandoning ship. And I got 2 pit bulls named Jacob and Whipstick. Back on my dog shit and I'm destined for hell. This ain't a fucking record label, it's a terrorist cell. Blowing the fuck up like a big cartel. High five, I'll leave you hanging like you Chris Cornell. Sorry.
Darkness swarming, all in caution, hanging pain at night. Blood is pouring, your endorphins dripping from your spine. Watch the setting sun, blood letting run, you'll never hide. Ripping through your bones and tendons, gripping on the knife. They say the devil's in the detail, so no wonder this effort to behead you is getting derailed. Should've took it long and slow, like a weak snail. Salt through your vertebrae, put your remains up for pre-sale. I'm a joker, here to play God. You can play Jason Todd, get smacked with a night rod. Cause if you are alive, but if you are dead, beat to death up on your street and make this bitch a red hood.
Bane of your existence, breakbacks make many hurt. Comp a collab, you get your pennies worth. It's a dark night, but I love those. Fuck a knife, I'm two-faced with a snub nose. Quit murder, cold turkey psych, I didn't try. But if I did, I'd need a patch, Snake Plissken's eye. Fuck your life, you better pucker up and kiss it bye. Now we 5 deep, you motherfuckers getting fisted dry.
Now the underground scene is abandoning ship, and I got 2 pit bulls named Jacob and Whipstick. Like, I'm a pit bull. I got a pit bull. I'm a pit bull guy. Whenever he threw in the pit bull line, and he's like 2 pit bulls named Jacob and Whipstick, and he made it play perfectly with the beat. That shit was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Then of course he dropped the line about it being not a record label, it's a terrorist cell. That was fucking super dope. Yeah. Billy's got all the references to like Bane and Batman and shit. Bane of your existence, break your back. There's always just so many fucking dope ass references, and everybody fucking schooled their shit. And then Joe comes at the end, and I said nobody stole the song, but Joe probably stole the song at the end.
All right, I guess we'll go on to mine. My number 3 is off of Brainless, off Don't Hug Me From the Front.
I hope you're having a fun time. I hope you're having a fun time.
You should really look both ways, crossing the street. Officer, please call an ambulance, establish the peace. The fact is, ain't none of us make it out alive. Gunshot, shoot the stars out, lay him down to die. While we ride when I squirt up pump, super soaker motherfucker, turn that up, burn that blood. We swerving that murder thought out the system, resistance is worthless cunt. I'm a wolf dressed like a lemon, I run with the sheep, trying to splatter your brain matter and summon the beast. It's something we spill the blood of the innocents to achieve. So if we chose you, unfortunately you agreed that we blood like your bitch ass with paper cuts, spray you with mace and fuck your face with us. Rated glove basket in your horror, yeah we call it a fun time. Fuck off bitch, you ain't gonna make it to sunrise.
I know this is like the first song that like caught a lot of people's attention that hadn't really been listening too much, because I know that's what you said, Brandon. I know you said like Brainless was like the first song that really caught you. I know Mike has said the same thing.
Yep.
Bill really kills the hook on this. It's like so haunting. It's like it reminds me of Mono on Dawn of the Dead, where it's like really haunting and like really catches you. And then Legs and Whip always kill their shit, especially on that one. It's such a it's a really different song on that album as well. Like probably the most different track on that album.
Also another version of that where the aforementioned Dubs has a verse.
Yeah, which is it's I don't know if anybody could find it online now, but it's it's kind of weird. I get the only reason I could think that they cut him was for the music video, but It's a dope track.
It really stood
definitely a
out.
dope track.
Really stood out and had that like haunting sound to it, like you talked about with Billy's chorus. It's almost like an Amy's in the Attic like feel to it with the chorus. It just had that haunting feel about it, and then all the, like we said, all the lyrical verses as far as what Whip and Legs did on the song, fucking super dope as always. And then you had that chorus. I didn't know Billy could sound like that, honestly.
Yeah, and the hook like that.
Hopefully we'll hear some more like that.
Definitely.
What you got at your 3 spot, Corey?
What I got for my 3 spot up for grabs.
She told me if you do this, no contact for a month. I told her that's the homie, I'ma call him if I want. She the only one upsetting in the feels of the fact she got a poorly imitated Chinese finger trap. I don't get it, maybe it's her way of trying to garner sympathy. Make me feel bad for adding another entity. She can sit upon her high horse while pretending we ain't going ass to mouth while watching the human centipede. You kidding me? Nah, not at all, dog. Bruh, we can raw dog money shot at the same time. Call it a sawed off. Call off the following day, friendly just to make sure we dug it deep enough.
Great for a three-way, got this kind of off of eBay. If you really wanna be safe, where you going, baby, please stay. Baby, will you please stay, yeah. You got a finger in your butt, plus a dick in your mouth. There's another hole up for grabs. There's another hole up for grabs. And I can't wait to fill up that gap. Can you tell me does this rag smell like chloroform? I just want a relationship that is more than porn. Now will you punch me in the throat, cause I'm sorta bored. Ain't no cream pie, I would like me some more, of course.
I love that song, dude.
Hell yeah.
I love that song just for the simple fact that it was the first time I think my fiance, she actually liked some of my music. She was like, "It's actually pretty funny." And I about rolled and had a heart attack in my car. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" You know? But no, that's up for grabs. I definitely like that song. You know, Eiffel Tower. But yeah, no, that's my number 3 spot right there. Most definitely, for sure.
Hell yeah, that's a dope song. I remember during the listening party that Luke did, he started introducing what this song was and what it was about, and Whip hit his leave button and exited the listening party. He didn't want to be associated.
The first time I listened to the album, I heard that song and I really did not like it. And I told him, I was like, "What the fuck is this, dude?" Like, out of every other song on this album, like, what the fuck is this? It has grown on me. It's hilarious, but I mean, it's definitely got a different sound than everything else. But yeah, even though it sounds different, the lyrics are so them. But that's funny that he exited out. I didn't know that. I kind of was like, "Are you serious?"
I like it as like an R&B parody type thing.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like R&B parody. So I liked it as soon as I heard it because I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But there are people that don't like it just because it's because of that, you know, because it's so fucking off the wall. Like, what the fuck is this? But I think it's hilarious.
It's different, definitely different. That's why I like it. You know,
I remember our co-host Mike Sears. He was like, "I don't really like the song, but I laugh my ass off every time I hear it, so it can't be that bad." That pretty much sums up that song pretty well.
but
We got your 3 spot.
So what about you?
Number 3, I have As I Say.
It all started at a red light, progressing to your bedside. I popped the e-brake and hit a right turn from the left side. I followed slow, hanging back about a quarter mile, despicable. When I laugh and show a crooked smile, I'm up to no good. Yeah, I'm chasing down a basic bitch, basically facing her with the bladed tips, saying shit. Tangled with the fascinations, aspirations, rape the shit. Now I pulled up into a driveway, so I'm breaking in. They say you gotta do it yourself if you want it done right. So that's why I'm sneaking around and avoiding floodlights. Let myself in, I use a rock for the king. I crept right to where she sleeps and put my Glock to her chin. I told her not to scream it, that I thought we should meet. I rolled her over and I tied her hands on top of the sheets. I marched her right down the hall, there ain't no stopping a beat. I pushed her right into the pantry cause her body's a feast. So now we in the kitchen for a victory sandwich. The victim is damaged and bandaged from the fist that have landed. Is sick and demanded, but chop her up her hands across America. We'll ship her body parts international to Canada. I whisper softly in her ear, I couldn't bother to hurt her. But when I'm guided by his darkness, I'm guided by murder.
New one, creepy one, different. shows their range, shows what they can do. They can be creepy and scary and serious. They can also be hilarious and talk about a finger in your butt and a dick in your mouth. They can do it all, and they can pull it off.
That should be their official motto. That should be their slogan on the bottom of their posters. Like how Psychopathic says the label that runs East the Street. Theirs needs to say that.
Yeah, I think they wanted to. I think they wanted to stay away slightly from a lot of more horror stuff when they first signed to LLE, because they didn't want to be. I know that's one of the reasons why they dropped that White Noise album, because they didn't want to come out on LLE and drop like a horrorcore album, you know. So I think now we are starting to see more of like their darker songs starting to come out. As I say, Now I Call Murder, all that other more stuff like that coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And on the newer tracks, like you were talking about with really noticing on Don't Hug Me From the Front with Whip controlling his voice, it's even elevated even more on these newer tracks. He's bodying people on these fucking new tracks, man. It's like Mike put it much better, and I can't say it the way Mike said it last week on the show, but he said it way better. But yeah, but he's bodying people on these new tracks, man. He just keeps improving and improving. It's dope to listen to. I'll go ahead and move it up to my number 2. It's a track that already got talked about, so we don't need to spend a lot of time on it. Positive.
Hey, yo, I'm a positive guy. Positive that life is meaningless and all of us die. Positive that none around me have a positive vibe. Positive that life is shit, but I'm along for the ride. And I can take you on a date and maybe walk around the mall a bit. Eat some broken glass out your busted ass to swallow it. Hit the gym and get your trim, take your body sculpted it. STD results came back, that shit was positive. Positive your mom's twin. Positive your dad's a prick. Positive your grandma and your grandpa both offended bitch. Positive in summer camp you learn to love to swallow dick. Positive to reach peace when I eat this hollow tip.
If I'm telling somebody about Super Famous and they're interested, I'm like, go watch the Positive video, and then if you like that, come back to me and I'll give you some more, because that's the one that got, like Corey said, that's the one that introduced me to him and made me a fan. As soon as I heard it, I was like, if these dudes can do Brainless and also sound like fucking this on Positive, then that's some range that I'm down to listen to for the next 10 years, because that shit will stay interesting. So I wanted to get that on my list for sure. And something we didn't mention is it's so cool how, like I was talking about with whenever Dubs and Whipstick is fighting in Pest and Risk, how, you know, it's more than just the actual song. There's entertainment going into it. And whenever Whipstick kills himself, the chorus changes about how it's so positive that Whipstick killed himself. Just little shit they put in like that. It always keeps it fresh. The video's super dope. There's even there's like a forever face video, moon in the video, a fucking low key mask, legs rocking a fucking Azul Lucia. And this was before they were on LLE, so it was dope to see shit like that. It's kind of like a little bit of a foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Definitely. Oh shit.
All right. So I guess my number 2 is another one that we already talked about a little bit. Lucha Florida.
AKA Ohio, day to day feels like a trial. Safe to stay where razor blades make up most of our fucking pile. You can get boned in the yard like a Taker versus Styles. If you die, then that's alright, you'll just be added to the pile. Weeks of black and miles, overdosing necrophiles. Crack a smile, Toblerone is now a weapon when it's filed. Motivate your mother in a mobile home while you're out. She finna pay for it at dome and it changes some of my clout. Hey, hood rats looking for some good shaft. Gonna find the head of a bat if they fucking thinking that I would smash. Face painted with powder, do I look like a good cat? Flashbacks to Pinata, yo, you're someone I should smash. Whoa, shorty got a body like a no, she don't, I buried it. Welcome to the land of making plans on nefarious. Lucha, Florida, northeast of where your parents is. Now watch this train wreck through the glass like aquariums, bitch.
Kind of already talked about it. I love the music video. Like I said, the Rick Moll cameo, maybe mark out a little bit. Shorty got a body like no, she don't, I buried it. There's so many little lines in there that are so dope. And it's about my home state, Ohio, not Florida.
That's for you, Adam 22.
Yeah. I know you're watching.
I know you're watching. Definitely no arguments with that song for sure. It's on. Yeah, I think it made almost all of our lists.
Yeah.
We got your 2 spot, Corey.
My 2 spot, you stole that one, man. Hide and seek at sunset.
Swarming, all in caution, hate and pain and night. Blood is pouring, you're in endorphins dripping from your spine. Watch the setting sun, blood letting run, you'll never hide. Ripping through your bones and tendons, gripping on the knife.
For real, Bill, fucking woke me up for this shit. The fuck am I doing here? Fuck you, Whip. Here's your fucking collab. You're lucky 8 Legs can draw so fucking well. I hope Bill told you the contract you gotta suck is my dick, bitch. Oh, you paid for this.
All engorged in hate and pain.
Fucking whack-ass yeasty
Blood
voice.
is pouring, your endorphins dripping from
Lipstick
your
with a cheesy
spine.
voice.
Watch the setting sun, blood letting run, you'll never
Suck my
hide.
dick.
Ripping through your bones and tendons, gripping on the knife.
You know you love us.
Man, I really love that song, and we discussed it, especially with the action, with the hooks. You know, I got my 2 pit bulls, Jacob and Lipstick, and they just go. What I think the funny is when at the end of the song, you know, your contract sucks just my dick.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it, man.
I said nobody stole the
I
song,
mean,
but I stand corrected. Joe stole it at the end.
Yeah, man, that was, you know, I like those little skits too. Let's put that out there, the opening of their CDs, you know, in a little skit. And, you know, forever, well, not forever, but for the longest time, I didn't think there was anything after the CD. After it came out, my buddy John Feudy, shout out to him if I could. He was the one that mentioned, he's like, dude, did you listen to the end of the CD after the song I Like My Friends? I was like, no, dude, usually I just kill it. And he was the one that actually told me at the end of the CD, it's like forever into the CD where they go in their little skits. You know what I mean? And that's the shit that I like too on that CD. I know it's not a song. Yeah.
That's that flashback shit to, like, you know, 1996 ICP, listening to find out what the hotline number to call and shit. And even to kind of branch off that even more, that song being a posse cut for LLE, pretty much showing the strength of them. It always reminds me of Meat Cleaver off the Twisted Most Tasteless album, because it's the first one of that as well. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, damn, this is like the Meat Cleaver of LLE. I fucks with this.
Definitely. But yeah, it's definitely, I like those skits, man. And that's one thing I hope they never stop doing, is their little, you know, ripping on each other, you know.
Even the ones on the album are funny too. I swear it's a creepy crawler machine. That is a random ass reference.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
Move it up to your 2 spot now, Marissa.
I have title track, Don't Hug Me From the Front.
We was cool once, that's dope for you. Get to share the same exact memories I do. Except in mind, you're a bitch, always causing me problems. And though it's 30 years overdue, I'm a million for the condoms.
It doesn't matter how we end it. Sometimes that's the way this goes. But dear those from all my lost friendships, there's one thing you should know. Whether it's been years or months, whether we had no contact, not even once, I truly hope your life is all bad, cause you're a cunt. And if we ever cross paths, don't you hug me from the front.
So I see you hanging out up at a show. I kinda notice you feeling the sweat, fact that it glowed. That's kinda dope. And you bought a copy of our album. Shut up. You want an autograph? I don't really wanna. Stop, and you wanna snap a pic here with Whip 6. So go distract the boyfriend while I'm motorboat his bitch tits. You fucking idiot, what part of the game is this? Catch it on video, she'll probably pay for it. So just play it safe and give me space. 3 feet, PC, social distancing yourself from these fees. Please, please, I don't wanna end up getting caught up. Shut up, just because you couldn't lock your twat up. I'm all for interaction if it is a must. With blatant trust, a conversation will remain as fuck. Debate a bruh, we will reclaim the game and make it fun. Just listen up and never ever hug me from the front.
Similar to Positive, in the way that, you know, it's upbeat and yet the lyrics are very negative, but it's upbeat and fun, which reminds me of the guys themselves. I mean, Legs is like the moody, like cynical, and you've got Whip, who's eclectic and flamboyant and a weirdo, and then you put them together and it's perfect, and it's just like that song. So if I can like shake my head and dance and like tell you that I hope you fucking zip your wiener up, like I'm down. I'm a cynical asshole like them, but also flamboyant. So that's my shit.
I hope you overdraft picking up a Snickers bar. So good. And I've never heard them described that way, but that was perfect. That was like the perfect way to describe their personalities.
Yeah. That's them.
They complete each other. They probably won't like me saying that, but you guys complete one another.
Work will love it, legs will hate it.
Yeah.
That song is pretty much the antithesis of every super famous Fun Time Guys interview I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They're just constantly, you wondering if one of them's going to quit, one of them's going to rage quit the other before the interview ends. I'll go ahead and move it up to my one spot now. We already talked about it. Like Luke said, it was the song that made me say these dudes are fucking legit. I fucks with this. Brainless.
I hope you're having a fun time with music for the brainless, with music for the brainless. And once you're having the fun time of your life, you'll die super famous. You'll die super famous.
My coffee's cold, always watching the media, talking about stalking and mocking them while turning the TV. All of a sudden I'm a monster. Like I ain't been feeding ya, I'm just trying to get us both to appear on Wikipedia. Honor of my 9th kill that they can't find still. Rename this whole fucking city like it was a Wineville. Actually I'm sick of you, back into the chicken coop. Listen you bitch, before I consider getting rid of you. Never mind, hey it's time to go shopping. Gonna find me a new toy to make into Frank Cotton. Fleshless crimson, last hour spent as a coward. Stabbed by a loser like Bruiser Brody in showers. Norman Bates wearing a normal face, yo it's funny. I'ma bludgeon you with inflatable sledgehammers. Get comfy, I'm sure you had ambitions right before you died, but now you're just a victim forever immortalized.
So yeah, I definitely got to put Brainless at one. Same way I have Secondhand Smoke as my number one Twisted song, because that's the one I heard and made me a Twisted fan. I gotta put Brainless there because that's the one that made me realize that these dudes are fucking legit. I fucks with this. So Brainless will be my number one.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, my number one is pretty much kind of the same reason we've already talked about it and hasn't been on my list yet. Positive.
Hey, you alright? That's a lot of fucking red, dude. Like, way more than I fucking expected.
Everything's going good,
Get up.
everything's going great.
Get the fuck up. You got me blocked in. I'm trying to fucking eat.
So great, Whipstick, fucking
I need a fucking taste of you. Are you serious? Get the fuck up.
I said the sun
Really,
just won't
alright?
stop shining on me. Ding dong, Whipstick's dead. Put a bullet right in his head. Got me feeling so positive. Got me feeling so positive. Ding dong, Whipstick's dead. Put a bullet right in his head. Got me feeling so positive. Got me feeling so positive.
The reason I like this song, and I'll tell you a story that epitomizes why I like this song. It's at Attack of the Ninjas, and there's this long ass line, and at the end of this long ass line, there's like a corner, a stoplight, and there's like this ice cream shop, and there's all these white chicks and all these old people standing around. This dude pulls up to the stoplight, and he's playing positive, but it's on the hook, and so it's like, you know, I'm feeling really positive today, and everybody's like, yeah, everybody's bobbing, and then it kicks into Whip's verse. And it's like, I'm a positive guy, positive that life is meaningless and all of us die. And everybody all of a sudden goes like this. And the light comes on, the car pulls away. And I'm like, yes, bro, this is why I love this fucking song. It subverts all expectations. All you hear is the hook. Everybody's all happy. And then they hear all this positive, like, oh, shit. Plus, it's a great song. I love that fucking song. It's a song that got me into them in the first place because I saw that music video when it dropped. And I was like, oh, this is dope. And they had all the Zool references and just so dope. And like I said, it's the song. Like if I'm going to play somebody a Fun Time Guys song and they've never heard of Fun Time Guys, it's going to be that song. And if you don't like that song, you ain't going to like Fun Time. And if you like it, you're going to love all their shit.
I was in that same line, and I saw that same little story that you just told.
Yeah, it was so great. It was so funny. I don't know why there were so many white chicks walking around, but
yeah, there were some people at the end of the line being like, "So what's going on?" You know, because there's this line of juggalos, and we're all juggaloed out and looking the way we look, and they're like, "What's going on here? A concert? Well, what kind of concert?" Yeah, Positive is also my number one.
Everything's going good, everything's going great. Whipstick fucking killed himself today. Never felt so good, never felt so great. Whipstick fucking killed himself. And the sun just won't stop shining on me. I said the sun just won't stop shining on me. Everything's going good, everything's going great. Whipstick fucking killed himself today. Never felt so good, never felt so great. Whipstick fucking killed himself. And the sun just won't stop shining on me. I said the sun just won't stop shining on me. Everything's going good, everything's going great. Whipstick fucking killed himself today. Never felt so good, never felt so great. Whipstick fucking killed himself. And the sun just won't stop shining on me. I said the sun just won't stop shining on me.
If you love that song, you love them. There's a reason that at Attack of the Ninjas, they end with that, and Whip kills himself and falls down on stage, and it's the energy in the room is just, it's unmatched, and it's quintessential fun time gang shit.
Great live song as well. Like you said, they usually close with it, and it's got great energy. They're jumping around the whole time up until Whip kills himself, of course.
Yeah. So good.
Lee's legs hanging like he always does.
Yeah, I'm standing up here like asshole. That was a dope show, man. That was honestly the first time I ever got to see him live. See it besides the TV bullshit, and that was a good show. I made sure I was up front row center. That was an amazing show. Seeing him there and that whole show entirely, even with Twisted, feeling that energy, everybody screaming Lotus. I literally lost my voice for 2 days screaming Lotus, Yeah, that was definitely a good kick-ass show.
That's I've really marked out on a couple Tuesday Night Terror whenever somebody asked in the chat if Super Famous was going to be at Camp Zool, and they laughed at it. They said, "Oh, they're going to be at Camp Zool and make them motherfuckers perform both nights." I was like, "Damn, they're going to do both nights? I gotta be there." So that's super dope because, like you said, their live shows are fucking fun as shit. I've talked about it before on here. A lot of hip hop shows are just like your posse up there spinning a towel and like kind of hype manning for you. But with Super Famous and with Axe as well, of course, you get a fucking show. So I'll sign me up for that any day. That's why I'm such a big fan of ICP, Twisted, and the list goes on.
Mm-hmm. And I can't wait for Camp Zool, man. I mean, straight up right there, Camp Zool. Can't wait to go.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a fucking blast. It's going to be cold as shit, but it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I'm about 3 hours from where it's going to be, and it could either be 70 that weekend or 7, or anywhere in between.
Yeah. Pretty much. Ohio weather, you gotta love it.
So I think the only one we don't have the number 1 from yet is Corey.
Yeah, Corey.
Me. Brainless, man.
We take a drum and your pain, call it irony. You scream, speed, the darkness growing, that's inside of me. Crying to the beat, I'm singing like an oddity. Bodily dealing you harm, your movies end violently.
Silently sighing, the sicko is smiling. His bodies of water surround you like islands, submerging and drown with the rest of the bastards. An artistic project reversing a rapture.
So roll credits, it's time to get your recognition. We're all alone, you need a win a mission. Shattered ankles make you dance, feeling kind of vicious. You ain't special, just defeated and another victim.
Pin him to a board before I go skin him. Annoyed by all the noise, avoiding the holes in him. From the dark game we played here earlier in the day. Sure, if you hit your face, but you're okay.
Look at me!
Hey!
I hope you're having a fun time with music for the brainless.
With music for the brainless.
And once you're having the fun time of your life, you'll die super famous.
You'll die super famous.
I hope you're having a fun time with music for the brainless.
With music for the brainless.
And once you're having the fun time of your life, you'll die super famous.
You'll die
super famous. You'll die super
But yeah, I'd have to say Brainless is definitely my number one.
The thing that really stood out about that song to me, like I talked about, is just the lyrical skill they showed on that. Because I mean, honestly, a lot of new rappers that come out, they don't even really rap most of the time, and these dudes were just bringing bars. Like I said, that one from Legs, whenever it's the third verse, whenever they're sharing shit, the silently silent, the sicko was smiling as bodies of water surround you like islands. It's like, God damn, man, this dude is, because I'd always known 8 Legs as the artist. And I was like, how the hell is this dude fucking so good at art and rap at the same time? That's not fucking fair.
I know.
Yeah, no. And I was talking to him at Astro, actually. You know, I asked him a few questions, and I was like, hey, you know, I hear you're going to be down in Terror Town, you know, selling some shit. He's like, yeah, I'll have some, you know, handmade stuff. And all of a sudden, he was talking with this cat, and I'm like, dude is, like, literally a talented guy. Like, literally, his artwork, his music, you know, him being a musician, a rapper, whatnot, and I'll give it to Mr. Legs, man. That dude was a real cool cat to talk to at Astro, man. He really was.
Apparently, it paints automobiles as well now. It just does anything.
Yeah, that van. How about that van? Huh?
Hopefully, that van will be at Camp Zool. Take some pictures with that shit.
Oh, dude, that'd be tight. That'd be awesome to see that van at Camp Zool. Most definitely. I'm pretty sure it would be there. I hope Whipstick brings the pig. He's got to bring Roxy.
Oh, man, Ruby. That'd be awesome. People be getting more pictures with Ruby than anybody. Whenever I seen Attack of the Ninja was at the Blind Pig, I was like, uh-oh, that might mean Ruby's allowed in there.
Oh, that's funny. I never even thought about that.
Before we get out of here, I mention some honorable mentions that just missed my top 5 list. A couple of them already got named. Crawl Space, I had that in there. WWYD off of How Do You Fit a Cassette in a Discography with Nipple Sweet. I love that fucking song, man. Legs' line's funny as shit. He dropped so many wrestling verses in that. Had to rock bottom the hoe. Fucking Bailey kick to her breast. I'm a wrestling fan since I was 5 years old. I indie wrestled since 2001. So any of those wrestling references, they always drop it. It always makes my ears perk up and I catch them. So that was a song I wanted to mention. Also had Crawl Space, like the Amy in the Attic reference, and then Crawdad coming on there and killing that shit. I wanted to have that on there. And then the last one I had was Lame Shit. I think that's almost like, I think that's like their Hocus Pocus or their We Don't Die. It's like an anthem song. It's that super famous fun time gang shit. Though too sweet if you claim it. Like I think that's their anthem. That's the one I want to see live and sing along with, like I do whenever the show must go on or Hocus Pocus or anything like that comes on. I think that's their anthem song, so that'd be super cool to see live. Anybody else got any honorable mentions they want to get in?
All Right. I love All Right because it's like, it's clearly a diss song and they go so fucking hard on that shit. Because like when I heard that, when we did the listening party and I heard it for the first time, I was like, man, this is a real diss song. Like, they're not saying who it's about, but this is a real fucking diss song, and you can really feel it. So I really fucking like that song, too. And like you said, Lame Shit, too. I really like Lame Shit.
You talk about All Right. Like you said, that's a really good way to do a diss song. And the people that they're dissing know exactly who they're talking to. It's so detailed.
I know.
And then Legs or Whip at the end. I hope their kids develop polio. I think their kids will develop polio.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you got any honorable mentions, Corey?
Oh yeah, Monster Mash with Donnie Menace and Buckshot, man. You got to give it to Buckshot. You know, good shout out, really good dude. That's an honorable mention. I love that song. You know, K Kurt Russell album, where's the 2 singles that they did, and the Intergalactic Coalition of Moms ripping on each other's moms. Well, your mom puts onions in everything. You know what I mean? your mom haircuts, Bella. I don't know, dude. I'm kind of like, but yeah, that's a couple of honorable mentions that I would like to give. Obviously,
her dream catcher is trash. It doesn't even match the wallpaper. Where the fuck's the
mail? My favorite part is like, your mom puts onions in everything, because I can't stand onions. I'm like, oh, there you go, man. You know, but that's one of the honorable mentions in Alleyway off the Lucha, you know, Don't Hug Me From the Front.
Which became a single unexpectedly.
Yeah, that's definitely a good song.
Like you talked about, like Luke talked about, with it not being a lot of horrorcore on Don't Hug Me From the Front. That song was one of those that lets you get a little bit of taste of the horrorcore that they was able to do as well.
Yep, definitely. No, I totally agree with you. Definitely.
Did you have any honorable mentions, Marissa?
Shits and Giggles. I'm big on the solo albums, and I love those are like my two favorite tracks from them, I think. Shits and Giggles. Hilarious. Their banter back and forth.
One of the other ones I didn't mention that I had listed was Bounce House Bastards with Mad Max. I think they all school that. Yeah. They all school that shit. Max comes in and fucking I think he's the third verse, or that he ends it, or if I'm remembering correctly. But his fucking verse is fire. Talking about jumping up in the bounce house, hitting people with fucking sock full of quarters. Just one of those fun tracks. It's one of those good to put on when you're working out or anything like that. It's one of those hype tracks to get you hype listening to the Bounce House Bastards. So I'll put that on my list as well.
Definitely a good song. But yeah, man, I've and another one I want to do is the new song that they just did. As I say, that goddamn. Your girlfriend hoe.
With Donnie Menace.
With Donnie Menace, yeah. Or your wife's a hoe.
Yeah, your wife's a hoe.
Dude. Yeah, dude, I like that. That's really growing out of me.
Yeah, like I said, with all those new tracks, it seems like they're elevating even more. It seems like they're not just gonna stay at the level that you're hearing on Don't Hug Me From the Front. Both of them are continuing to get better, so it's exciting to see what this next album's going to sound like, and then an album, what it's going to sound like, what they're going to sound like in 5 years, and see what they're this talented now. What are they going to sound like in 5 years? That's a real reason that I'm excited to follow the journey, because most of the groups that I follow, they're like 45 plus in this scene. I see Pete Twisted and those guys, they're up there, man. We need some young blood in there to keep this shit moving, and that's one of the reasons I try to expose everybody I can to Super Famous, because they got the talent to do so, especially now that they're united with AXE. You got the LLE there. I think that's the future of the underground, so I always try to promote that shit as much as I can. Hell yeah. Long live Evil Smack Your Bitch ass on the regular. I think that's a pretty good way to end it.
Hell yeah.
I think that's a pretty good way to end it, though. Long live Evil Smack Your Bitch ass on the reg. You can't end it better than that on the Super Famous Fun Time God Top 5. I want to thank Corey and Marissa for jumping on in short notice whenever one of our homies couldn't make it, and did a fantastic job, both of them. I knew both of them would know some Super Famous Fun Time tracks, and wouldn't just be somebody that has only heard a handful of songs. They know the whole discography. So I want to make sure that people like that were going to be represented on here to get people that hadn't listened to them a bunch of examples to go listen to. So hopefully they'll do that and people will go listen to it. But until next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Fago Lovers Network, I'm the Joker's Gallery, and you just watched 5 Piece. We out. Too sweet.